Did you know that the best add-on for Minecraft survival players was recently updated, introducing some new features and some quality of life changes, including elevator blocks? Just as a reminder, for anyone who has been purchasing Minecraft Marketplace add-ons, some of them do get updated quite frequently. Let's use the info items as an example. This add-on has an indication that it does have an update. Also on the top right, you will see this symbol. It's just a blue exclamation mark indicating that there's an update for this add-on. On the add-on page, below the description, there will be a change log. This one was fixed an issue with the biome sensor not working on realms. So if you were using the info items add-on in your realms and it wasn't working, it's now time to update it. I don't think Minecraft does a great job of explaining this, but if you have purchased add-ons and they do have updates, go on the marketplace, then tap on this button. It looks like a bookcase. The second option is going to be add-ons. I have 69 of these. When we scroll down, you can now see all of the add-ons that do have updates. It's just the easiest way to stay updated with what you've purchased, but also if they have any updates. Before we get into this video, I actually recorded one of the change logs. Since recording it, the Essentials add-on was updated again. We have some great news. In this version, you are now able to use Fortune with the Ore Breaker. This was officially available as of the 1.21 update. Now, something also introduced in one of the previous versions is you can also use the Ore Breaker on the Deep Slate Copper. So 2 incredible changes. One more thing I would like to mention, though, is if you go into your settings now and scroll down, we actually have the ability to turn off the particles. So if you don't like the constant particles popping up all the time, you are able to turn this off, which I kind of like a little bit more. So this was also introduced. Oh yeah, and before I forget, it's not just Fortune this is going to work with. It is now supporting Silk Touch. So if you didn't want to mine them into diamonds, or in fact into gold, you can grab yourself the ore blocks. Another really cool feature introduced is an infinite lava source, very similar to how you do it with water. This does need to be toggled, so open up this book, head into your settings, and scroll down until you see the lava reflow. Turn this on. So what this means is, if you were to go ahead and pick up lava like this, it's going to refill, which means you can get an infinite amount. One thing I will mention, though, is I typically use the water source like this to get my infinite water source. This is not possible in this formation. Creator might introduce it in the future, but you are going to have to use a square design. I thought this was a pretty cool introduction. And if you don't like this, head into your settings, scroll down, and turn this off. And if we try this again, it is not going to work. Have you ever been sprinting home after being chased by a mob and you can't get through the door because they both don't open? Well, there is a new feature that has been introduced. If you open this, head into your settings and scroll down, you are going to see double door opening. Turn this on. Now, you have to punch in order for this to work. It's a really cool feature. It is going to work for any of the doors in Minecraft that can be open and closed, even the copper versions that were recently introduced. So now, if you're being chased by Enderman, you could just double punch these, double punch them again, and they're closed. Just like your Ore Breaker, another feature was introduced. This one is going to be Sand Breaker, which is customizable. You can have this for sand, gravel, clay, dirt, mud, soul sand, or even soul soil. Make sure you hit submit. Now, if you do have the particles already off because of the ores, this will also be applied to this as well. So as you can see, this works for regular sand, but does it work for this? I mean, it does, but my shovel broke in the process. Hold on, let's try this with dirt now. Yes. So if you wanted to go down in a 3x3 radius, you can do that. A really cool feature introduced is the ability to instantly and automatically update your map when you go into a new area. Now, I'm going to put this in my offhand. Once again, this is going to be a setting that you either have to turn on or off. It is located at the bottom. Let's turn this on. So when we go into this new area, the map is going to update in real time. Now, I don't like the fact that it tells me on the top left that it's giving me a new map. But again, there is some limitations. Now, although it says it's giving you a new map, I can confirm it's not giving you a new map. It's simply just updating your previous one. So on this occasion, my recommendation here would be make yourself a much bigger one, right? So let's go like this. We can do this like in much bigger spaces here. So let's make this as big as we can. This is the biggest one you're able to get. I think if you're doing large amounts of exploring, especially if you're doing this in survival without an elytra, your map isn't going to update super quickly. The only downside there... Oh, that's a downside. Oh, it converted from a level 4 back into a level 0. Ah, okay. That's the first time I've discovered that. So maybe a little bit of a limitation there. Also added in the latest versions is concrete slabs and sideways concrete slabs. The community was asking for it, so it is now available. In fact, this is something I would like to see in vanilla Minecraft. So you can make yourself the slab version, or you can make yourself the sideways version. So many more customizations available inside of this. They just look so much better. Again, these should be vanilla features. Finally, in this version, you are able to recraft the Essentials guidebook. If you lost it in something like fire, not a problem. You can remake it. In order to do this, you are going to need 2 pieces of paper and 2 sticks inside of here. These 2 go on the bottom and these 2 go on the top. Then you have access to the guide. Once again, in the latest update, we now have access to more fake blocks. I can't remember which blocks you could make last time, but there has been a whole bunch more introduced. Everything you are seeing right here is a block and not an entity, which means you are then able to walk completely through all of these, which I will show you right here. So this will be really good for creating some kind of hide and seek minigame, or just trolling your friends. Regardless of what fake block you are making, the recipe is going to be the same. We are going to use these 3 as an example. I really hope they expand on the fake blocks. I think it's a great feature. So if you want to make this, you're just going to do it like this. If you do this, you get 2 at a time. I think you should be given a little bit more than that, considering the blocks you are spending. However, I still think this is pretty cool. It's at a point now where you would be able to make yourself a whole entire house, just like this, to completely troll your friends, or in fact, create a secret base. The only things that aren't fake on this house is going to be things like the doors, or in fact, the glass. I hope glass does get introduced as a fake block. Maybe in the future, they could even go ahead and introduce fake versions of stairs, but everything besides those are completely fake. A new feature introduced to this add-on is going to be elevator blocks. This is made with ender pearls and scaffolding. Let's just grab the needed materials here, open up this. You can just tap on this, by the way. It's going to tell you how you can make it. You are only given 1 block at a time. You could use this to go to the deepest of depths. This will take you all the way down. You don't have to have multiple blocks, but you can if you wanted to. So I'm all the way down here. I would then be ready to mine my diamonds. Or you could just go up. You could do this gradually, or you could do this a lot quicker, and you could make yourself a secret base. As a quick reminder though, if you open up your guidebook, you can actually see the new features introduced once you scroll down. The next one we are going to check out is the Incinerator. And as described, when used, removes all cobblestone, dirt, gravel, tuff, cobbled deep slate, netherrack, and sand from your inventory. And this is going to be the recipe. You need 4 iron ingots, some lava, and you're going to need some buckets. Once again, you could just go ahead and grab the needed materials, open up this, and you can make it. And this is the sound. Now, I currently don't have the allotted materials. So if we grab them, let's say you've done loads of mining, you don't need it. If we go ahead and tap this, it's going to completely delete them from your inventory. One thing to mention with the incinerator, there is customizable options. If you tap on this, you can then decide which blocks you would like to incinerate versus which ones you wouldn't. Maybe you did have tons of cobblestone and dirt, but you didn't actually want to lose the cobblestone. You can actually disable this. Let's say you wanted to keep the sand, you could disable this. Obviously, when you then get rid of the specific blocks, those ones would be saved. One of the notable issues is that when you are breaking giant trees, like a jungle, it would only go halfway. Or if you were breaking obscure trees, something like the cherry tree, or in fact, the mangrove, it wouldn't fully delete the blocks. As mentioned, Tree Breaker Rework works on big trees as well as weirdly shaped trees. Saplings replant automatically if you have them in your inventory. So let's grab ourselves the needed saplings here. So we'll just grab all of these, for example. I'm also going to grab this. If we go ahead and break this, now one thing I have noticed here is that sometimes if you break the bottom one, it doesn't automatically plant it. However, if you go ahead and break the middle one and you have the sapling, it will actually plant it. In fact, on that occasion, we ended up with bees. As long as you have these in your inventory, it is going to replant them. But my favorite feature has to be this, because now the whole entire jungle tree can be broken. You're not going to have to tower all the way up there. On some occasions, though, these still might not be broken. And then apparently this is going to be the same for something like this. So you can see here, they've all been broken. And to prove it one more time, as you can see, all of them have been broken. So this was like a pet peeve, should we say, when this was first revealed and announced. It didn't actually break the trees the way I think it should have. Forget about your water-breathing potions or your turtle helmet. We have the introduction of 2 air bladders. There is a smaller version and a larger version. These are made using leather and a dark oak button. It does not work with a regular one. I did some testing. So if you were to do this, this is the recipe, but it has to be with this. There is also a larger one. It's made in a very similar style. You just need a little bit more of the leather. So make it like this. Grab this. You're going to have this as full straight away. But when you get into the water, you will notice that your bubbles are starting to pop. If you tap this, you can see here, you've now used some of the air available inside of this. You can do it again. It will then get to a point where this has completely ran out. You then have to resurface and get yourself some fresh air and go back down. I just thought this was a really cool concept. Obviously, with the larger one, it's going to last a lot longer. You will be given a potion effect, which is the water breathing style. So yeah, a really cool introduction. Something a little bit different. Silk Touch spawners now require Silk Touch. Make sure you have this setting turned on, scroll down and turn it on. Previously, in this version, you could pick this up with anything at all. If you had this turned on, you can see here that is not the case. You now are required to actually have Silk Touch. And you'll also notice they finally fixed the infinite XP glitch with this one. I'm sure you guys enjoyed it, but this makes perfect sense. There is nothing more annoying when you find a mob, but you don't have wheat in order to take them home. No problem. We have the introduction of capture cubes. Here is the recipe you are going to need. It's really simple to make. If you are struggling, just head into a crafting table and you'll see it right here. This now means you can then go ahead and tap on a mob, put it inside of your inventory, and you can then go ahead and take it home. But be warned, once you place it back down, the cube is gone. You can now craft saddles in survival. It requires 7 leather. Open up a crafting table, and here is the recipe you are going to need. Do you have a zombie farm? You have an insane amount of rotten flesh. No problem. Inside of a smoker, you are now able to smelt this in order to make it a renewable leather source. Chunk borders was also updated. You can now tell a difference between a regular chunk and a slime chunk. Remember, go ahead and turn this on. Now, apparently, if you're in a slime chunk, it will turn green. I am colorblind, and one of the struggles I have is telling the difference between yellows and greens. So if you guys have seen me in a slime chunk at all, please let me know. I wish there was like an alternative way to tell on the floor. Like maybe the floor was a little bit brighter versus before. But is this a slime chunk? I can't really tell. But anyway, if you are using this, you can tell a difference between a... Wait, is that it? Is that a slime chunk? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I can't tell. But yes, that's how you would tell. One of my favorite new introductions is going to be the automatic tool replacer. So I have a wooden shovel. I'm going to place these two over here. Once this runs out, it's going to automatically replace it with the next shovel. So it's gone straight to the regular one right here. Now, unfortunately, if we were to do enchants, and we enchanted this with efficiency 5, if this then goes ahead and breaks, it does not switch to the diamond one. It will only switch to the same kind of tool. So wooden on wood, diamond on diamond, netherites on netherites. But it's a pretty cool feature. Just when you think this add-on can't get any better, they've actually teamed up with some of the marketplace partners. This is the Omni tool. It is from World Utilities by GameFam. This now applies to cutting down trees. It will instantly cut them all down, which I thought was a really cool thing. I'm hoping more marketplace partners will do a collaboration. This tool is going to work on the Ardite along with the Cobalt from Tinker's Construct. So you can instantly do this. You're also able to use this on the sand resources as well, and anything else you have enabled with this toggle. I noticed I did have Ore Breaker on, but unfortunately it does not work with some of the ores. It's likely that this will be fixed in an upcoming patch though. Along with supporting World Utilities and Tinker's Construct, it also supports Pod Crash's farming. So again, you are now able to automatically replant these crops. So if I break it, you can see it's automatically replanting. I put these over here. I'll show you guys that I'm not actually planting it myself. It's just automatically doing it. I'll go ahead and put them there so you can see here. So again, I really love this. More of the marketplace partners need to work together. So many of them are so focused on just having the best add-ons. But I don't think they realize that them all working together is the healthiest output for everyone. Anyway, that's all the changes. If you do enjoy these update videos, please be sure to hit that like button. This is still one of the best add-ons out there, especially if you are a survival player. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you all in the next video.